Rep. Cohen. Very, very few stood at the Super Bowl for the Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Negro national anthem. Not a pretty picture of the Super Bowl crowd. Yeah, I love that so much. I love that we are just going so forward that we're going backwards, and
Well, of course we are. This isn't news. I mean, it was bad to call black people colored people, but now we call them people of color. What the hell is the difference? Please, can somebody explain that to me? This might be hard for young people to imagine, but I grew up in a world where we were taught to love everybody and not label everybody and treat people by the content of their character and not the color of their skin or their naughty parts. We really did grow up in a place where if you were a jerk, if you were a racist, you were kind of pushed aside. Now they're making racism popular again by dividing everybody by skin color. And I'm a white devil. I never knew that until the past couple of years.
On the Black national anthem. Now, obviously, this has been a very long push from the left, but it turns out that we are bringing segregation back because we now have the Black national anthem followed by the white national anthem or the other national anthem. Pretty soon there'll be an LGBTQ national anthem. You know how it goes. Anyways, Andra Day was the singer, and I want to be clear, she has a wonderful voice, and here is her singing the national anthem. Take a listen.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us.
Did you put your hand on the heart and stand up? Well, you shouldn't have done that if you're a white person, because that was for us.
Candace is clearly tongue-in-cheek here because she's annoyed. She also grew up in a world where we didn't separate ourselves. We were all the aim was for all of us to just get along and be friends and appreciate each other's differences. And celebrate each other's differences. Like, hey, if I went to my Mexican friend's house, I got to eat a totally different kind of food, and that was cool. It wasn't cultural appropriation. We were just friends. We didn't sit and talk about who was oppressing who, because nobody was oppressing anybody. There are class structures where, definitely money plays a part in who you hang out with, but it was never about skin color.
But listen, there was a representative, a congressman out of Tennessee, here in the wonderful state of Tennessee, who saw that some white people were not standing for this national anthem, and he took to Twitter to complain about that. He wrote this, Rep. Cohen. Very, very few stood at the Super Bowl for the Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Negro.
All right, I just want to tell you that song means absolutely nothing to me. And it's not because it's black. It's because my national anthem is the one that unites the whole country. That's the one that I will stand for. That's the one that brings tears to my eyes. And, sadly these days, because our country is going to hell in a handbasket, when I hear it, I get the same feeling I get as when I hear taps, which is played at military funerals. That's how I feel when I hear my own national anthem, because how destructive these progressive policies have been. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to stand for this for. It's just any old song. Doesn't matter. And it's divisive. It's specifically trying to divide us. Why on earth would I stand for that? Or kneel for it? Or do anything but take a bathroom break?
National anthem. Not a pretty picture of the Super Bowl crowd. Yeah. So that's kind of a weird tweet. Not a pretty picture, I would say, of Rep. Steve Cohen himself calling black people Negroes. And obviously people jumped into his feed and said, did you mean to write Negroes? And he defended himself. He said, that's what it was called years ago, and accordingly, it felt appropriate as it shows its history. I love that so much. I love that we are just going so forward that we're going backwards, and
Well, of course we are. This isn't news. I mean, it was bad to call black people colored people, but now we call them people of color. What the hell is the difference? Please, can somebody explain that to me?
We now have representatives that are just referring to black people as Negroes again. And if we keep going backwards in the history, we're just going to have to start dropping the hard R. I mean, we're just going to have representatives referring to us as the N-word because it's historic or something, and we should be proud to have that or something.
But that's a history we want to go back to, being degrading, but we can't honor Abraham Lincoln anymore. They want to tear down statues of founding fathers because maybe they weren't living up to today's standards, even though they were the ones that set out the Constitution that allowed for everybody to eventually become free. Like, it's so just stupid and illogical and upside down that the only way to describe what's going on is it is a battle of good versus evil. We live as a nation by united we stand, divided we fall. We know that. There's no questions about it. And dividing us up the way they are is how we break down the strength. The links in the chain are getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and then we will be able to have some kind of freakish one world order, and I really hope the rapture comes before that because I am not in the mood.
Obviously, pointedly ridiculous. People shouldn't stand for this because this is not a uniting anthem and is not bringing people together whatsoever. In fact, what it's encouraging is for Black people to segregate ourselves and to be proud of that segregation. I say we give it a couple of years and we're going to have colored people signs on water fountains again.
I mean, there already have been more very specific, concrete examples of segregation. How about Michelle Wu, the mayor of Boston, who a couple months ago just had a Christmas party for the city council, and she sent out an invitation to the whole city council, and then she sent another email to the white city councilors, and were like, "Oh, sorry, not you. You guys can't come." Yeah, that really happened. Oh, that very same mayor, man, she really is a peach. She puts out bids for contracts for snow removal for the city and for women and people of color. So like white guys, you out. You can't get a contract with the city. I mean, everybody knows how much women love to shovel snow. Hey guys, I'm about to call Michelle Wu again, the mayor of Boston. Her Office of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion put out a bid for snow plowing contracts, which is a big deal in Boston, but only women and minorities are allowed to apply.
How can I help you?
Hi, I actually am just calling to see. I was calling because we missed the deadline on the snow plowing bids from the.
On the what now?
There was a call for bids for snow plowing contracts from the Office of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion for women and minorities to be eligible to bid on contracts. And I'm just wondering, though, because we have other people in my family, when are the white man only contracts going to be out, and what opportunities will be coming that are exclusive to them?
You know what? That was awesome. That was very creative. I really appreciate that. It kind of brought a smile to my face.
I'm glad, but I'm just wondering because segregation is such a big, force in Boston these days, and I just want to make sure that white men have their opportunities. And do you have any information on that coming forth?
No, ma'am. Unfortunately, I do not.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing a smile to my face.
All right. Merry Christmas.
You as well. Merry
Thanks.
Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm glad I could cheer him up. It's got to be really terrible working for Michelle Wu. Actually, I know it is. I have a lot of friends that work there. But anyway, everything is about race. It's so boring. And there's just like other weird things happening. Like there's this whole migrant crisis, and you've got these people who want so badly to be white saviors now. Sorry to pick on Massachusetts, but man, you're just leaving yourself open these days. And there's these white people there who have taken in migrants because they were sleeping at the airport, and they've taken them in, and they're basically keeping them like pets. So now we have these rich white people with pet Black people. What?
Lisa says she feels like she has her own personal chef, as Wildande loves cooking.
Isn't that cute? Her little pet likes to cook for her. Look at these people.
When Colin and Jessica Stokes called the state to sign up to be a host family, it took less than an hour for the displaced migrants to be dropped off at their door.
I gotta get sheets on the bed. How many people are coming? Where are they from? What ages? We really knew nothing.
Less than an hour, like ordering a pizza. This is what's going on. This is the mess that Joe Biden has created, that people are just sitting on the edge of their seats waiting to hopefully find a place to sleep. This is tragic. And these people who voted for this created the problem for these people. And they're all so pleased with themselves. Oh, I'm so happy I have a personal chef. Oh gosh, I'm going to get them. I'm such a good person. No. By creating a sanctuary state, you created the problem where they went and they believed that life was going to be better. And they came here and they're sleeping on the streets in New York, and people are getting hurt and stabbed. They're knocking on doors in Brooklyn, begging, making residents, citizens, taxpayers feel unsafe. Now you're taking in complete strangers into your home, like a delivery service, like you got a pizza delivered. What the hell is going on? You're not a savior. You created this problem. I can't even. It's so frustrating. What we could have done if these people were really in dire straits was, remember what Kamala said, going back to root causes and going down there and figuring out what's wrong. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments and drop a sub. Talk to you soon.